Hello again, this is John, and this time we have a Singer industrial machine. And this is actually the first industrial machine I've purchased. It's a Singer 111W155, and let's go over some of the features of this machine, or I guess maybe not features but controls, because it doesn't have much in the way of features. It is a straight stitch only machine with no reverse. So I guess we'll just start on the top. This knob towards the back is the foot pressure. So you screw that down to put more downward pressure on the foot. These are the tension discs up here, and a couple of buttons on the bed of the machine. The left button, you push that down to adjust the stitch length, and the right button is used if the clutch for the shaft underneath has ever come loose. So if you get a jam or something under the hook, there's a clutch over on the right side where the timing belt is underneath, and you have to use the right button to reset the clutch. On the back of the machine is the presser foot raising lever, and in addition to that there's also underneath the knee bar to raise the foot. So there's not really much to these sewing machines. On the right is the Bobbin Winder. It has a lever here that you push forward, so this contacts the belt, and so you put the bobbin on the pin over here, thread the thread into the bobbin, and push the lever and it latches, and then when the machine runs it turns this wheel, and then you load the bobbin up that way. When this is all the way out, it shouldn't contact the belt, otherwise it'll be running or rubbing the whole time. There's also down here on the bottom, there's a little piece that looks like leather, and that is a brake for the wheel. When it comes undone, it stops the wheel from turning. Under here is the bobbin holder, and to load a bobbin you flip up this little lever and drop in the bobbin over the top of the lever, and then you snap that back down again. You should have your thread coming off the left side hanging down when you load the bobbin. Slide it down over the top, snap the little latch back down, and then get the thread to hook underneath that hook. Drag it around to the left, and now your bobbin is ready to go. Close this plate most of the way, leave just a little bit of room for the thread to hang out. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is to thread the top of the machine. Through one hole there, second hole here, that wraps around. And we have 3 holes along this bar. Down through the first one, up through the second one, and down through the third one. Through the tension discs. So I hold one side here and pull this down into the tension disc, down under this other disc, and then around to the check spring, and if you can see, but on the left side over here there's a little hole with a bar from the back side coming through. So we have to pull that up until the thread snaps into that little bar. Now it's hooked behind that bar, and so now it can't drop out on the bottom side of this. Goes through this large loop, through the take-up lever, back through the loop again, and a second loop here, snap it in, and a third loop, snap that in. Next step is to feed it through that hole on top of the needle. Last step is to put it through the needle itself. So let's get the needle all the way to the top. And the needle is all the way up. The hole through the needle is just above that center presser foot. And we will feed it in from left to right. Now just do one revolution of the hand wheel to pick up the lower thread. Pull it up through the hole. We don't want to pull it through the top hole. See the two loops down there? I don't know if they show up very well, but if you take those two loops and pull them out so they're between the presser foot and the feed dog, and then pull them out to the back and close the cover up all the way. And that's how you thread the 111. Okay, now that we have the sewing machine threaded, we will try to do some stitches on it. And I picked this sewing machine up about a week ago or so, and the timing belt was broken, so this is the first time I've really had a chance to try it out after I replaced the timing belt. So I have the stitch length set to about 6. In this segment I'm going to fill up a bobbin with thread. So we take the thread from the spool, run it through a little eye back here, down through the tension disc, and pull it tight so it goes through the tension disc, up through the spool or the bobbin. Pop the thread through that hole. Okay, we have the thread through the bobbin now, and we'll set the lock on for the bobbin winder to contact the belt. Turn the machine on and we're ready to go. Now you may have heard that when it was at the end, the thread got large enough that it started contacting the little arm here, and it didn't pop back out again because I don't have quite enough tension between the wheel and the belt, so I can slide this whole assembly back to give it a little more tension, and then it should be enough to wrap around on the spool until the little finger pops that back out. But that's how you wind thread onto the bobbin. Alrighty, I have the new bobbin loaded into the machine and all rethreaded again, so let's try this again. One thing I want to point out is the W155 actually comes with this extra little piece that is to lubricate the thread. I'm not going to use it because I'm not doing any production work with this thing, but this holds oil in the reservoirs in the felt, and you're supposed to run thread through here underneath this plate and out a hole, and that mounts actually up on top, the pin that's up on top here, and so that would sit up on top and you'd run the thread through that, but I'm just using a normal pin up there. So thank you for watching.